Morning guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all well. You join me on a beautiful September morning where it's about 23 degrees already and it's lush outside, so it's a perfect time to do the tailgate versus barn door video. Remember, there is no right and wrong answer here. This is more of an informative video for anybody who's out there that has yet to buy a van and they're umming and ahhing as to whether they get a tailgate or a barn door. And obviously, you know, it's a question I asked myself before I bought my van. So hopefully this will help you make that decision. If any of you guys know any more information or I don't touch on anything that you think is quite important, or you've got a bit more info on tailgates or barn doors or whatever, please comment down below, because the people who are watching this video can then read those comments and find out more information as well. So we're gonna go meet my friend Mark and do a tailgate versus barn door video. Nice! Okay, see you, bye! Right, so I've arrived. I'm just waiting for Mark to arrive. Hopefully he's just going to park at the side of me there so we can do a perfect side-by-side comparison. I'm at a beautiful place called Swinsty Reservoir. It's actually Fewston Reservoir with the Swinsty and Fewston, and they're sort of connected. You can either walk around one or the other or both in like a figure of 8. Really, really nice. Plenty of parking. So yeah, let's get into this video and let's do a tailgate versus barn door thing. Right then guys, I'm here with my main man Mark and I have my list of things to talk about. Now the first one that I'm going to talk about is the tailgate. The thing that gets brought up every time is the tailgate is a great shelter when it's raining. Now some people say, well yeah, but you don't get rain that just comes straight down, sometimes it's sideways. That is true, but under here you do feel like you would get less wet than if you were here, which is there's nothing, so it doesn't matter whether it's sideways or not, you're still going to get wet here. I know you can get covers that go over here, but it's just not as easy as just lifting your tailgate up and standing underneath. I mean, it's a quick kind of change your shoes, do you know what I mean? You can change your shoes here, you can sit here, have a cuppa, as my model Mark will show you now, yeah, it just in general it's just a nicer place to sit. I mean, you can't sit in the back of mine. Some vans might be slightly different with their bed slightly further forward in the cab, but you certainly can't sit in mine. I mean, I'll try. I'll show you a bit of video now of me sitting in it. It's not comfortable, so I don't do it. Now I know aesthetics are like subjective, but these lights I think are nicer looking than the lights on the T6 Transporter with the barn doors. I think they're just more angular, look nicer, and that would be the case if you swapped over to a tailgate on that. You'd still have to change the lights and everything and the electronics and stuff, so it'd be a bit of a faff. You can do it, but it would be a big faff, something I'm not going to do. So I chose the barn doors for my specific reasons. Again, I'll mention again, there's no right and wrong in this. It's more about information in the video for you to make decisions as to whether you want a barn door or a tailgate. So obviously I've got a portable shower that I can put in a bucket and go in my toilet tent and stuff, but I can't, there's nowhere really. I mean, I suppose I could mount it on here and stuff, but it's not as enclosed as I would like it to be, and nobody wants to see my protrudences. So one thing I've noticed about the tailgate is that you can get side curtains and things like that to come down. On some of the Californias, on some of the other vans that don't have to be VWs, you can mount a shower under here and use this area as your shower. Some VWs have the shower in here, it's all like packed away and stuff. You can just get it out, hook it on, and then have a shower under here, or clean your dog and stuff like that. So that's another plus point for the tailgate. Don't worry, barn door guys, I will say positive things about barn doors as well, so you just have to wait. Now, one thing I've noticed in my van, obviously I've got a rear view camera so I can see out back, but with the tailgates you get more window, so it means that you can see out a lot better just with a standard rear view mirror, because there's more space. It's more like a car window than it is anything else. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're not great to look out the back of anyway, these vans, because obviously the the chairs and the headrests and everything like that are in the way more so than in a car, but the window space and the real estate you've got on space here to see through, obviously you've got this bit that is on both sides, so you lose about, I don't know, what's that, Mark? It's about, yeah, it's about 20 inch, that, isn't it? you do lose a good 5 inch. So yeah, that's one thing to bear in mind. Visibility is slightly better on the tailgate versus the barn doors. Now, one thing I've noticed, certainly on the Californias, but you could do this pretty much with any tailgate if you have the time and the patience, and I'm sure there's a product out there to let you do this, but you can have the chairs stored in the actual tailgate itself. Now, I can't do that on this. However, certainly on this California, there is a section here where you can put your chairs in there, and I think, is there a table in there? No, just the chairs. So yeah, this is a section where you can just put the chairs, where is something that you can't do on the barn doors. Bear in mind that tailgates are slightly more expensive. I think they're like a couple of grand, if not more, expensive to buy than the ones with the barn doors. Now, that's basically because A, they're more sought after because they do look nicer, and that's just subjective, that's just my thought process, and I have barn doors. They do look wasp. Whoa, wasp. Barn doors are made for workmen, and it means that you can get forklifts right up to the back door so they can get stuff in. Obviously with a tailgate, you can't get a forklift that close. So that's why tailgates are really more consumer market, and barn doors are more kind of, you know, Johnny Plumber and Harry the plasterer guy. Right, so one thing that I like about the barn doors, I told you I get onto the barn door pros. One thing I like about the barn doors is that you can half close them. So it means that when one door is half closed, it means you can shove everything in there and nothing falls out. Also, with this, it means that I only need this amount of space, which isn't much, to actually open my doors when I'm in a car park or in a tight spot. Whereas with the tailgate, you're going to need a lot more space. I think it's about 6 foot actually. I might be wrong. Mention in the comments below if I am, but I'm sure it's around 6 foot space for it to open. And then obviously, you know, if you've got it rammed, which inevitably we do, because we take too many things, when you've got it rammed, you open it and everything starts falling out if you've not packed it properly. I know there's some of you guys out there that love packing their vans properly, and I'm sure yours won't fall out, so you'll be fine. But do bear that in mind if you're deciding to get a tailgate or a barn door. Right, so another cool thing about the barn doors versus the tailgate is that the opening mechanism for the doors is high up. So when the bed's down, you can actually open the door from the bed, and we do that quite often, you know, to let a bit of fresh air in the morning. If it's a lovely day, we like to open these doors and get some lovely views, whereas on the tailgate, you have to go outside to open it. And obviously that's, if you're in your gym jams or if you sleep naked, nobody wants to see that, do they? Somebody also mentioned that these barn doors restrict your view, sort of the panoramic view, when you're sat in your van. Now they do when they're open like this. However, on the barn doors, there's a little button just here. I'll show a bit close. There's a little button just here, and I'll show you what that does to the doors. You can have the doors fully wide open, so you get the same panoramic experience as having a tailgate. Keeping with the doors and the individual doors and having one shut, what that actually does, and one thing we've done before, it means that, you know, you can have this door open, letting in fresh air in the morning, and still lean with your pillow on this door, and you're getting like a nice breeze through, which is lovely. So yeah, you can have half of them open, lean on this door, and still have a nice kind of view on this side as well, or vice versa, either door. It doesn't really matter which one's open, but you can lean on them, whereas once the tailgate's open, you can't lean on that at all, otherwise you're going to fall out. Now, I don't know whether I've mentioned it or whether any of you guys have noticed, but you know, I've got a bit of a quiff. I don't think I've definitely not mentioned. Have I mentioned my quiff in any of the videos, Mark?
Several times.
Have I? I can't remember. I think he's lying. He's definitely lying. So anyway, going back to quiff and heads.
You don't have to mention it. Everybody can see it.
Basically, when I'm stood here cooking, going right up to the van, I don't have to think about where am I going to bang my head. You know, I'm not going to bang my head. However, with a tailgate. And again, you know, I'm 6'2", 6'12" with the quiff. I would bang my head, so I'm not going to bang my head, but I'm going to show you that that's kind of the. So that's what, if I'm 6'2", that's probably about 5'8", 5'10".
I'm 5'10".
You're 5'10", right? There we go. Look at that. So it's perfect for Mark. He can fit under it, but not perfect for 6'2" men with an 8-inch quiff. Because yeah, that's kind of, and that's kind. You'll only bang your head when you're having an argument with your missus about putting the awning up. That's the only time you bang your head, and it'll make you twice as angry. So bear that in mind. It's fine under this bit. There's no chance of banging your head. There's loads of space because this is where the window recess is, and it's only actually until I get to about this point, and this isn't bang head territory. This is just like quiff rubbage. It's only really sort of the edges from about here that you're going to bang your head. So yeah, bear that in mind. There's this. Oh, that's close. Oh, that is like a sharp point. And if anyone's going to bang their head, I will. But yeah, I mean, you just got to be careful. Just make sure that when you got your cupboard doors open at home, you don't stand up, because that really hurts, doesn't it? Right, so going back to the barn doors, when they're open like this, absolutely fine. There's no wind today. It's a beautiful day, September, 23 degrees. Everyone's happy. However, if you've got a gusty day, and I don't mean like you've had curry the night before and it's a bit gusty in the van, I mean outdoors gusty, there is a chance that this might sort of close and slam in your face, and nobody wants that. So just bear that in mind. I've seen some people actually use extendable poles just to hold that open when it is windy, and that's obviously an option. But you know, you'd need to carry that with you everywhere you went. It's just something else to go in the van, which you probably don't want. Whereas on the tailgate, there's no amount of wind is going to shut this door in your face. Now, you can get spoilers for tailgates. They look nice and everything like that. But Mark was telling me that when he bought the van at VW, they said to him that the spoiler might get caught, or was likely to get caught, on the pop top, or you can't have the pop top up after the boot's open and stuff, so you have to have it closed, put your pop top up, and then you have to be careful when you open your boot, because it'll bash on the pop top. So obviously, as you know, you saw me fit these bad boys, the spoilers, which has stopped me from being able to put bike rack on, but I'm fully aware of that. We're going to have a tow ball fitted, but there is a certain order to close the doors in. I'll put a bit of B-roll up now showing you. If you do close them in the wrong order with a spoiler on, you're going to either bash your spoiler, you're going to knock it off, or you're going to make a big dent in it, and nobody wants that. So yeah, bear that in mind too. Right, one person did comment that on the tailgate you can have working lights which point down, which is absolutely correct. On this version, there are, if you just look over this way, there are some lights here which come on when it's flat and down. They're like reading lights in bed, and obviously when this is up, they're like lights to light this area up and stuff like that. And obviously you can upgrade them, you can have different spotlights, things like that. Absolutely fine. And I think that's a really great thing. However, in my van, and again, any van, doesn't have to be VW, obviously I've fitted this bendy light, which doubles up as a USB port for when I'm charging my phone on a night, but also it means that it's not only a reading light inside the van, it means that I can bend it and twist it out this way and have it on here just by pressing that button there. Nice, lovely, nice and spicy eye. And that basically means that I've got a light here in this working space, and I've used it before when I did the diesel heater install. Obviously it took me way longer than it should have done, but when it got to night time, I used that light as my working light. So yeah, there's no real kind of plus or negative points to that. I think they both have their way of doing it, if that makes sense. So rarely when the weather's nice in the UK, we get to cook outside, and I have made an attachment on the side of my door here, so I can have the table and we can cook outside just like this, which is great, you know, but we're not undercover. The California or any tailgate is still undercover. The separate table is freestanding, so you can move that around, but it's got 4 legs, so it doesn't have to be attached to any doors or anything. But it does mean that I can use the table that goes inside outside, so I don't have to carry another table with me. That then fits to the door here on the barn door, whereas obviously you can't do that on the tailgate of any van really. I mean, I suppose you could, but you'd fear it kind of dropping down on your head, and knowing my luck, it probably would drop down on my head. However, in this van, the door has the table just in there, which is brilliant. This is something you're not limited to with either tailgate or barn doors. You can still do outdoor cooking, al fresco, but if it's raining or there's a slight bit of, you know, if it's spitting or whatever, then you're not going to have to rag everything inside as quickly as I'm going to have to do if it starts throwing it down on cooking outside. So yeah, that's a dual good point to both vans. So moving on to bike racks. Now, I stopped myself from being able to get a proper bike rack on this by putting my spoilers on, but that was, you know, purposefully done. I'm going to get a tow ball because hopefully we're going to get a trailer at some point, but then we'll be able to put our bikes on the trailer or a bike rack trailer. However, now this again is all subjective, but this does look nice, doesn't it? I mean, you can get these for any tailgate, very similar ones. They just look more aesthetically pleasing, and you can leave them on. I mean, it just, I don't know, it just screams outdoors, doesn't it? Right, so a nice short sweet video for you this week. I hope that's helped you guys decide whether you want a tailgate or a barn door. It may have just thrown it all up in the air for you. You may have already made your decision, but now have changed your mind. I have no idea, but I really do hope this video has helped. Thank you so much to Mark for the loan of his van so I could do visuals with it, because it's so much easier when you can do sort of an A/B comparison between the two. So yeah, thank you, Mark. You're a legend. Take care. We'll see you on the next one. See you. Bye.